The movie Gabby on the Roof in July, directed by Lawrence Michael Levine, who starred as Sam, and the co-writer Katie Kurtz, she played Gabby, is about, it's a telling movie of an artist and the dynamic between art and life. Gabby is a 20-year-old student from Oberlin, and she comes to New York in the summer to stay with her brother Sam. They're having some parental issues back at home. So Sam he fails to comfort her while she's living in the city and does kind of experimental art projects. And Sam is a struggling painter who deals with different women throughout the movie. And that's basically what the movie is about in a broad sense. What I liked and didn't like was I really liked how the story was informal and kind of organic. The dialogue was sarcastic, it was very witty, though they were taking on very serious matters. One of my favorite characters was Charles, who was kind of a silent protagonist in the film. He spoke, the only time he really spoke out was at his birthday party against Sam's ex-girlfriend who came back into his life. Chelsea was her name, and so I liked him even though he wasn't in the story too much. The acting was pretty good. I really liked what Lawrence did. I wasn't a fan of Dorothy. Later on I learned during the Q&A that she wasn't really supposed to be in the movie, that they replaced her. The lighting, the way the cinematography worked was, I believe he spoke about wide-angle lenses and that he didn't use them. Though whoever did DP used a lot of depth of field, which kind of was annoying. I get why they did it, because it was more about the characters interacting, but the depth of fields kind of didn't make sense sometimes because the person talking would be out of focus, while someone staring in the background doing nothing would be out of focus, so that kind of was frustrating at times, but overall it was I know it was a low budget movie, so it was pretty good. In terms of pacing, it was good. It kept my attention. At times it was confusing, especially during the beginning, because they had two cut scenes between Sam and his girlfriend at the time, Madeline, and then Gabby coming to New York and Sam forgetting about her. Overall, I thought it was pretty original. It was very intuitive, kind of like what Lawrence talked about in the Q&A. I learned more of the perception of the film, about the background on Lawrence. He went to Columbia and he said it was kind of his reaction. This movie was a reaction about everything he learned at Columbia, because he learned more of the, corporate making of movies, and he had a theater background, so I thought that was pretty interesting, and it was conventional and he was impressionable at Columbia, and that was cool how he kind of fought against that and made this movie. That's why I thought the end scene of the Miss America kind of really related to him personally, it seemed like, just because it was kind of like a huge theatrical show that Gabby was putting on at the end of the movie. And I thought it was really interesting how the characters were really based on real people that the actors knew, and how no one knew who these people were, but when they were putting them together during the 6 months of rehearsal, they played off each other really well. So that was kind of funny how it was based on real people, because they're all kind of nutty. But I liked how it was intuitive and there was no real motive during making the movie, so that was certainly enjoyable. So I did like the movie. I don't know if I'd recommend it to too many people unless they have that certain taste for it, but overall I enjoyed it, and that's my review.